Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out, episode 277, the first new Tech It Out of 2023. I trust you all had a relaxing break, and I'm wishing you all a happy and healthy and safe new year. And hopefully over the holidays, you spent some quality time with family and friends. But it all goes by so fast, am I right? Back to the grind for many of us. In fact, I'm in Las Vegas right now at the annual Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, which is the annual tech show with more than 100,000 attendees who cram into the Las Vegas Convention Center and surrounding facilities to lay our hands on tomorrow's tech today. For a self-professed geek like me, I'm like a kid in the proverbial candy store, of course, with nearly 4 million square feet of showroom floor space and more than 3,200 exhibitors to visit, all showcasing their wares. So most of today's show is devoted to CES, and I'll share some highlights with you next weekend as well. We're going to kick things off with Matt Swider, editor-in-chief of The Shortcut, for some of his top picks at CES. We'll also talk to car guy Nik Miles this hour for some awesome automotive tech, including a concept vehicle that can completely change its color by simply selecting it on an app. Wow. Other tech experts will join us too, like Carley Knobloch and Mario Armstrong. They're regulars on this program, and a lot more. It's a packed show, so let's get to it. Tech It Out is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. I'll tell you more about ASUS shortly, but let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. All right, I'm thrilled to be sitting here with Matt Swider. He's editor-in-chief of The Shortcut, of course, and we are here at the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show. He has a big S on his shirt. I wonder where you work. Great to see you, Matt. How's your show so far?
It's been good. We're seeing a lot of gadgets and seeing a lot of trends break out at CES, especially bigger, more bright TVs and a lot of gaming integrated into everything. TVs, laptops, handhelds. Yeah. So a lot of that.
And prior to Shortcut, I know a lot of your work was on social media. I think that's you're most well known, I think, as like the PlayStation guy, wasn't it? Didn't you used to score? You used to like tell people how they can score. Yeah. Didn't that become like before we get to CES, I hope you don't mind a shortcut. No, a little side note, in fact, about how you became so well known online with like a ridiculous number of followers.
Yeah. So I was at 21,000 Twitter followers in like February 2021. Decent for a tech journalist. Then I blew up to 1 million followers a couple months later, like 5,000 every single day, telling people when and where to get a PlayStation 5 because PS5 restock became, just a trending keyword. So
what a niche! Yeah, it's so awesome.
I became the PS5 restock guy for a lot of people, and great. Now all those followers, I got to set up my own Substack, The Shortcut, and all those followers kind of are turning to me to get the next thing. So one of them is the PlayStation VR 2, which I had, the opportunity to check out at CES. It was the first time it was shown in the U.S. at an expo, and surprisingly, it was pretty good. I've been down on VR for a couple of years just because they haven't made like too many advancements, but this seems like next generation VR, 4K display, and what really impressed me was eye tracking. So that kind of blew me away because it can track where your eye is looking within the display.
And what's an application for that? Like, just paint us an example of why that would be cool.
Yeah, I was even in love with the testing that goes on, this calibration, because it had you look in different directions just to set it up, and I was like, ooh, this is a fun game. I'm pretty good at it. But then, you go through the menus of this game called Horizon Call of the Mountain. That's, one of their flagship games that they're debuting on February 22nd, and it's amazing that you can kind of look around the environment and it'll highlight different things within a 3D world. So I'm, stoked on the possibilities of that and where they can take it.
And to be clear, you would plug this into a PS5 just like you would the PSVR headset into a PS4. So you are tethered. But what's the headset like? Is it comfortable?
It's a lot more lightweight than I had expected. It's around, I would say, 40 grams lighter than the PSVR 1. Oh. And I kind of tried to touch my face before I put on the controllers, and the headset was physically a little bit bigger than I thought it was because it was so lightweight. I thought it was flush with my face. That's how easy it is to move around. It's very evenly distributed as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I was hoping it was going to do well, in particular because it's 4K, with the Meta Quest 2 is not. Yes. So that's great. And then it's Sony, right?
Yes.
So you know the games are going to be awesome.
See, that's what I really like about it. I think Sony has a very good chance these days with VR compared to a lot of other companies, because whether it's Meta or HTC, which we saw a new headset from, they don't necessarily have the video game library, and I really want to play a lot of PlayStation games. If they make a God of War VR game or Uncharted, it's over. Yeah. I'm going to buy that thing. Yeah. So the only other company that could do it, and I predict they will one day, is if Nintendo follows up the Nintendo Switch with something that is VR related. I would go crazy for that, but nothing there yet.
Okay, awesome. Any other gaming innovations you've seen at CES? Or how about TVs, which we play games on?
Yeah, so I would say definitely every TV manufacturer is coming out with, for example, Samsung has the gaming bar and a gaming hub, and that thing is integrating a lot of things like Xbox Game Pass, where you can just play on your TV Xbox games without an Xbox, and that's a really cool thing. We're seeing handhelds kind of come about with. We've seen like some Android handheld devices that are kind of taking over your phone. Those have been interesting, but Razer has something called the Razer Edge 5G. Connects to 5G. It's a dedicated handheld device, and it plays Xbox Game Pass as well. So it really feels like a grown-up handheld device, and you can have the Xbox on the go. So that's kind of neat. Last thing I would say in the gaming realm is laptops. Laptops are getting bigger, and there's an 18-inch laptop from Razer. Alienware has some great laptops, and we're just seeing some high-end video game technology being integrated into kind of like the workstations that we've had previously.
So a lot of gaming content for you here at CES. There is over 3,200 exhibitors and over 4 million square feet of showroom floor space. And automotive is also a big thing. So why don't we chat about that? And then I know my listeners love the weird and wacky side of CES. Maybe we'll end off with that.
Absolutely. So in the automotive world, last year we saw BMW have like kind of a color-changing car. It was, it was like
more grayscale.
Yeah, it was grayscale. So it wasn't like an actual color. This year, it's popping with colors. And I think it's going to kind of get rid of that really difficult question people have at the car dealership. We're like, do I want the red one? Do I want the blue one? What color do I want? I think that could be a really cool innovation, especially when your Uber is there to pick you up and you can be like, oh, I have the blue one. I always like when I get a blue Uber because it stands out. Someone could just customize their car color on the go. So I really liked that, the BMW i. So that was a really cool car concept. We're kind of, considering that for the Shortcut Awards for CES.
You rob a bank and you need to change your getaway car's color. That's not good.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but
my mind goes there right there.
Yeah, that's an innovation. They're always one step ahead of.
Or insurance companies. It's a red car is the most expensive, right? Yeah. So now they just make it like black or blue, and then you change it when you leave.
I think no matter what this is priced at, it's going to be expensive.
Okay.
So you're
not worried about insurance at that point.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Early adopters don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, I think the car tech is just really interesting. We're still waiting for, self-driving cars to take off, but they're innovating in different ways, and I really am kind of bullish about where car tech is going at CES. It didn't used to be that way, but, it used to be the Detroit Auto Show only, and now CES has been kind of a hub for next-generation cars.
All right, without further ado, the weird, the wild, the wacky, the wonderful CES 2023. What stands out for you?
Some tough decisions, but I'm going to go with one. I really like the Bird Buddy, a man who loves taking selfies and just posting them all about. Well, you can lure in a bird, and through AI, it'll take a selfie of a bird. So you lure it in with some food, like a bird feeder. Yeah. And, it has a camera there, and it detects when the bird is there, and you get some bird selfies. It's kind of bizarre, but also kind of heartwarming. Kind of love that.
There's also a practical side to it. If I'm not mistaken, the AI and the camera in the Bird Buddy can also tell you the kind of bird that it is, right? So I think either by song or by visual or both, like how they chirp or whatever, they can determine what kind of species.
Right, and I'm someone who doesn't necessarily know all of my bird facts, so I definitely would be intrigued by that, more so probably than someone who knew about all the classifications of birds. So it's something that can be really educational and kind of fun to look at.
Okay, awesome. Hey, it's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by to chat at CES 2023. Hope you have a great rest of your show. But before I let you go, where can our listeners learn more about The Shortcut and read all of your CES coverage and other content that you're creating?
Yeah, you can go to theshortcut.com. Everybody's looking for The Shortcut. It's the number one consumer tech publication on Substack, so it's mostly free. And also at Matt Swider, MattsWider, on all the social media platforms, especially Twitter.
Okay, awesome, Matt. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great show, Mark.
I think virtually every interview this hour is about the Consumer Electronics Show, where I am right now. Well, I'm sitting in my hotel room at this point, but I've conducted interviews on the show floor like I did with Matt, as you heard. We're also going to chat with Nik Miles, automotive expert, about some very cool car tech from various companies. And Mario Armstrong and Carley Knobloch will also join us with their top picks from the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show, the annual Mecca to Sin City, where we get to test drive some of this tech that isn't out for quite a while. Very cool stuff. If you're on social media, drop by and say hi. Let me know if you got some cool tech under the tree this holiday season. It's Mark Saltzman, MarkSaltzman, and I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I'd love to hear from you. Once again, it's Mark with a C, SaltzMan on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Tech lifestyle expert Carley Knobloch will join us on Tech It Out when we return. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. This show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, accessories like monitors, mice, and keyboards. They've got mobile tech like smartphones, tablets, and smartwatches, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. The irony of the Consumer Electronics Show is that I look so forward to seeing my colleagues in person and hanging out and even interviewing them for this program, but it has been so insane at this CES that my next guest, even though we are at the same convention center, it's so massive, 4 million square feet of showroom floor space, that I'm having to interview her over my computer. Oh my gosh. Anyhow, it is great to introduce to you Carley Knobloch, tech expert who's been on this show many times. Carley, how is your CES so far?
Well, it is just beginning, but I'm already overwhelmed, excited, exhilarated all at the same time, like I am every year. And I'm just so happy to be back. I feel like CES is back and better than ever.
Agreed, Carley. I haven't been at this show in person since CES 2020, so this is awesome. Without further ado, let's hear what has caught your eye so far at this year's show.
Well, let's start with smart home trends. I have 3 different things to talk to you about. And of course, I've partnered with some great brands to give you an inside look at the show this year. I know you're here, but I've got some fun things to share with you from the smart home space. So first off, smart Wi-Fi deadbolts. I've got the Schlage Encode and Encode Plus. They make securing your home super easy. Schlage's been designing trusted locks for more than a century, of course we know, and using a smart lock means you can control your deadbolt from anywhere with your smartphone, but now you can also use smart assistants like Google Home and Amazon Alexa, and the Encode Plus was actually one of the first smart locks to support Apple HomeKey, which makes things really, really simple for Apple users.
Awesome. In fact, I'm talking about this Schlage Encode Plus on this show as well, as I'm a fan, and they're making a lot of waves here about this product. What other smart home tech did you find?
I always like to say smart tech doesn't just cost money. Sometimes it can actually help you save money. Schneider Home is a system that helps you understand your home's energy use. It also helps you keep power in a blackout, and it reduces your electricity bill. Schneider Electric is the first to bring together a home battery for energy storage, a solar inverter, an EV charger for your electric vehicle, and more. It's all in one system and controlled from a single app, which is a particular coup because, we all have app fatigue at this point. So it's all coming from one app where you can see exactly what energy is being used in your home and where. You can get coached on how to reduce your energy use, and you can know when rates are lower so you can save money and, run your appliances when it's cheaper to do so.
I only learned about Schneider Electric last year, and they were nice enough to send me one of their home monitor systems. And it's awesome because you can see, like you said, how much energy you're using in real time, which can help you save on your monthly utility bills. And before we move on to another topic, I understand you have one more smart home pick.
So yeah, climate control is another smart home category that's gone high-tech at CES through the years. Train Residential's suite of connected home solutions is a really great example of that. If you use their home app, you can adjust your thermostat, set heating and cooling schedules, assess indoor air quality and humidity levels, and even control lighting or manage other smart home devices. Plus, this is the coolest feature, I think. You can grant access to an HVAC pro, and that pro can monitor your system's health and diagnose problems remotely, which in some cases could save you the hassle of waiting all day for a service call. So you can have the HVAC pro kind of like check on your system and maybe even do some diagnostics and maybe even fix things without even coming to the house.
All right, from smart home tech to your favorite audio picks, what have you seen so far at CES?
Absolutely. Audio is always huge at CES. JBL has actually announced two noteworthy options from their Tour series that's launching this spring. Number one, the Pro 2 True Wireless Headphone has the world's first smart charging case with a touch display actually on the case that you can use to manage music, calls, and receive social media notifications. And if you're looking for a more immersive audio experience, the JBL Tour 1 M2 over-ear headphone includes amazing noise-canceling technology that eliminates distractions and maximizes the listening experience.
I'm a big fan of JBL myself, so thanks for sharing that, Carley. Carley Knobloch is our guest, lifestyle tech expert who we are catching up with at the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show. Why don't we end off on something for the kiddies?
Yeah, let's not forget about those kids at CES. Tony's has created products that make nighttime routines fun for preschoolers and easier for parents. So brand new this year is their Sleepy Sheep Nightlight. It's so cute. It provides a reassuring glow for kids that are afraid of the dark, as well as soothing lullabies and stories. And each Tony uses RFID technology to play screen-free audio content on the Tony box, which helps kids wind down and fall asleep. So Tonys are these little figurines that you can put on top of this box, and the box recognizes each figurine and maybe will tell a story or sing a song. And the new Sleepy Sheep Nightlight is a much larger version that illuminates from inside and can kind of, just operate as a nightlight, but also will play you stories and songs as well. And it's just really sweet.
Great to chat with you, Carley. As we wrap up, where can we learn more about the gadgets that you've chatted with us about today?
Thanks, Mark. And for more information on all these great products, you can go to bestofces.com. And I hope you have a great show, too.
All right, bestofces.com. Have a great rest of your show, Carley. All the best.
Okay, take care.
Another regular on this program, Mario Armstrong, will join us from the Consumer Electronics Show in a few minutes from now, as well as Nik Miles, automotive expert, who will share some top car tech with us. So stick with us. A lot more Tech It Out coming right up after this.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. I always love when our next guest comes on this program, Mario Armstrong, a tech lifestyle expert who is at the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show. And we were both so busy that we haven't yet connected in person, but it didn't stop us. We did this interview over a computer to yield better audio quality because it's such a loud show as well. But the next time I chat with Mario, it should be in person. But hey, regardless, Mario, it's great to chat with you. How's your CES so far?
Oh, Mark, it's been a busy, man. It's already, I can't believe, I'm back and in person at CES for 2023. It's been awesome to kind of be back on the show floor and to really see and feel the excitement of being around 100 and, 30,000 or so people that are going to be here with all of the 3,000 plus exhibitors that are here showing the latest in tech. Yeah, it's good to be back.
All right, Mario. So why don't we start with some of the hot things that you found so far this year?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few things, and I've partnered up with some great brands that are here to kind of give everybody a glimpse as to what's happening from the show floor. And yeah, I mean, I think for me, some of the hot things that I've seen have been really in smart home and in audio. And again, I'm just getting out to really kind of see what's going on. So for right now, I saw some great wireless earbuds. They're made by a company called Poly, which is known for great audio. They're now a part of HP. And they have the Poly Voyager Free 60 series wireless earbuds. Now, these wireless earbuds have up to 15 hours of talk time, and they have active noise canceling and Wind Smart technology to block out the background noise. But what was really cool is that the charging case that it comes with, it also has a touch screen display on the charging case, so you can see and access things like your volume, but also see like the battery life without having to connect it to your phone, things like that.
That's cool. And I know, Mario, you take your music seriously.
It's true. It's true. I still have I came from a lineage of people in the music business and kind of like music industry. And then I did some DJing myself. So yeah, you can have all the bells and whistles, but if it doesn't sound good, I'm not talking about it.
Next up, you hinted that you wanted to chat about some smart home tech, one of the more popular categories. What did you find?
A really big category, and I've seen quite a bit in health and at home, and Sleep Number is kind of doing a little bit of both. So what I saw from Sleep Number is that they now have launched a new smart bed with a connected sleep health platform. Their latest smart beds, by the way, they have sensors that actively adjust to your shape, your position, the temperature, and it monitors your health. It's really designed for pretty much every sleeper. So whether you're pregnant right now, it's a great bed for you, or if you're aging, or even if you're recovering from an injury. Like I had a shoulder, not really an injury, but it was sort of an injury, but we were worried, am I going to have to get surgery? And really, I've been on a Sleep Number bed for the past several years. I wake up refreshed. I feel great every day. And the fact that it's connected to this larger platform means that I get a better understanding of my total health. So I feel like, yeah, this is like smart home, and it's also smart health at the same time. But there were other things that were really in the smart home space that were really kind of wild, like Moen. If you know that brand, Moen, they're really the first company that's giving you control over the water in the home, but now they're doing it outside the home with a smart sprinkler controller and smart wireless soil sensors. So essentially, it's going to help you save money on your water use, especially if you water your lawn consistently, because it will give the lawn the precise amount that it needs when it actually needs it. So it takes all that guesswork out of you doing it, and it's going to be great for the environment as well.
Yeah, I'm actually talking about that exact same product today on this show, as it really blew me away. I really wasn't interested at the beginning when I heard about a smart sprinkler system, but I love that it saves you money and that there's some really cool outdoor tech.
Yeah, I really did like that. I also like the fact that I don't have to mow my lawn anymore. So I don't know if you've seen this, but Landroid Vision was some new tech that I was exposed to today. And it's basically, it has an HDR camera on it and Vision AI, and then it will automatically adjust for different mowing conditions. And it identifies the grass to mow, but it also knows how to avoid like your flower beds that are beautiful. You don't have to worry about them being destroyed. And it's even smart enough it learns your yard. So let's say that part of your yard goes across a sidewalk. It can go across the sidewalk and cut that part of the grass as well. And I really like the fact that even though I looked at other competitors, I'm like, how prevalent is this? And I found that there are other companies that do this kind of thing, but they don't have, like, they all have to have, like, installed boundaries, and you have to use wires and other things that you have to install to train it. And this one is so smart that it really sees your lawn like you see it, so it knows where to go and where not to go.
And before we wrap up, Mario, and speaking of outdoor tech, you got to tell me about this smart front door that has all kinds of bells and whistles.
It's made by a company called Masonite, and the door is called the M Power Smart Doors. It integrates, Mark, in the door, welcome LED lights that come on, a door sensor, a Ring video doorbell, and a smart lock. It's all embedded into the door without the need for any batteries. You can obviously access it all through the app that they have, the Empower smartphone app. This door comes in a variety of different colors and styles. It's going to be available in Home Depot in the U.S. later this year, and it's currently available through some select U.S. dealers and home builders who may be building homes or maybe giving them a new touch, if you will, and some upgrades. But yeah, that was my first time actually seeing a smart door to our home be fully integrated with all this technology and not having different components all separated from the door. It's all built in.
Mario Armstrong, always great to chat with you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of CES, and I want to see you here on the show floor. So I'll do this first interview like this, but the next one's got to be in person. All the best, buddy.
Likewise. I know. I can't believe that we had to do it remotely, but we will find each other, people, because when Mark and Mario hit Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But you can go to the website if you want to go and check out what I've been covering at bestofces.com to see some of the details.
Bestofces.com. Take care, Mario. See you soon.
See you soon, Mark. Take care.
Before we continue and chat with Nik Miles, an automotive expert, about some of the cool car tech at the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show, just a quick plug for Visa, a partner of mine on this program. We do cover cybersecurity a lot on this show and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age, even if you're not super tech savvy. One part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa. It started about 6 months ago, and I'm thrilled that they're continuing into 2023. They've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years. How much, you ask? $9 billion. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. All right, we're here at the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show, and I'm standing beside none other than Nik Miles, automotive expert, a seasoned professional, and founder of OurAutoExpert.com. Nik, always great to chat with you. How are you?
Excellent, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah, awesome. So CES is an acronym for Consumer Electronics Show, but over the past couple of years, it could even be argued the Car Electronics Show because of all the automotive tech here, and this is what I wanted to pick your brain about. All right, so out of everything you've seen so far at this show, Nik, what would you say has blown you away the most? I'm going to put you on the spot just to start off the chat.
BMW's Vision ID car, and we knew it was going to be rolled out here at the show, but we didn't know that they were going to show certain parts of it. So this is a concept vehicle, and BMW have a history of taking these, what they call their vision cars, and making them into reality. So what's currently called the iX, which is a vehicle that's on sale, was a vision car, right? And now they've come up with a new one called the Vision ID, DEE, and this vehicle is like KIT. You remember Knight Rider and KIT? This is a car where you talk to. It was like your personal assistant, your protector, somebody that you lived with as a friend. Well, they wanted to go ahead and make that car. So BMW have always made these vehicles that have been electric. They have been good for the environment. They've used electric power. They've been fully recyclable and made from recycled equipment. But they wanted to now go the next stage, which is just make them fully digital. And they did this with D. But on top of that, D had this, a couple of years ago, they had this sort of idea of making vehicles very much like Kindles, where on the outside they could change color. And they showed that last year with a vehicle that went black and white. Well, when I was in Germany, they showed me that they had actually worked out how to make these sort of vehicles change color, and they'd done it with one panel. And so the surprise was last night when Arnold Schwarzenegger came on stage, the whole vehicle now can change color. And it's not just a sort of a trick. When the vehicle changes color, the paint actually changes color, and it stays changed. So however you change it from blue to red, it stays red.
It sounds like science fiction, but you saw this yourself.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have David Hasselhoff on, to go back to your KIT reference, but they had Schwarzenegger come on stage in partnership, presumably, with BMW to unveil this.
They use the same photosynthesis sort of cells as a Kindle uses. And what they do is they cut them to go to the same shape as a car.
Wow.
And so that goes to the headlights now too. So instead of headlights, you're going to have these sort of things that project light out of that space. It's going to be the whole car. But it doesn't just go for the car body itself, Mark. It's going to be the wheels and the windows. So everything's going to project. So windows are going to project out and in. So now we're going to have things like your window is going to be either a heads-up display is going to go all the way across, just in a little bar all the way across, or your whole screen can be the heads-up display. So it changes the game.
You told me, Nick, that you were actually more impressed with this heads-up display or augmented reality on the dashboard, even more than the color changing outside of the vehicle. So talk to us a bit about the applications around that.
If you, for instance, have snow coming down on the street and you can't see properly or really bad rain, you can project onto the windshield the route that you should be taking if you can't see, if you have bad vision. And so you can have that windshield suddenly plot your track. So you can have, as you're driving a race car around a track, you can actually have the track you're driving. Or if you have your navigation, you can't see well, you can plot your track. If you're looking for a particular turn to take, your windshield can point you, say, by the way, here it is.
Like a huge arrow superimposed, right?
Exactly. So this augmented reality.
Right.
You can take people along for the ride with you. So you can have, your mom can be actually on the screen talking to you and those type of things. So it changes the whole, imagine a TV screen there, and you can have as much or as little as information as you want on there. It changes the reality of what's inside your car. And it's scary. Of course it is. All new technology is scary in a sense when you don't understand it and you don't ever use it. But it also opens the world up. Imagine a medical emergency and inviting a doctor into the car. Or, imagine, being lost or in trouble and being able to be navigated out of it with what's on the screen. All the things that trouble us in our lives can be solved with this, and all the things of enjoyment. I mean, you have to sit outside your child's baseball game or hockey game waiting for them to come out. You could sit there watching a movie. I mean, there's 1,001 things that this could do for you.
And this is all projected onto the windshield, just to be clear.
In every window of the car, not just the windshield.
Oh, wow.
You can do it in all windows of the car. So your kids can use every space in the car. You can use every space in the car.
And speaking of entertainment, is this the vehicle that has the built-in karaoke?
No, that's Chrysler. So Chrysler mentioned is just a single word, and it says one of the things that their new interior of the Chrysler cars is going to have is karaoke. Now, I know that sounds like something like in a press release that you just put in to get your and my attention, but it didn't. It worked. It got my attention because one of the things that it can be really boring is road trips, and I just did a 1,650-mile road trip across the country, and karaoke would have been fun to have in the car.
Sure. Karaoke.
Exactly.
There you go. And talk to me about the new Ram, the electrified pickup truck.
So Ram, of course, will be the last of the North American 3 to go electric. We've already seen Ford with the Lightning. We've seen Chevy with their EV, the Silverado. So Ram, we've been waiting for. And they've been standing on the sidelines waiting for everybody else to get there. So we know this is going to be the latest and probably the most advanced and high-tech.
So let's put a pin in that for a moment, Nick. We're chatting with Nik Miles, automotive expert. When we return on Tech It Out, we're going to learn more about this Ram that has two really cool features that I know Nick wants to talk about. One is how you can charge up the vehicle, and something tied to automation. We're going to continue chatting with Nik Miles when we return on Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We're chatting with Nik Miles from Our Auto Expert. We're at the 2023 Consumer Electronics Show. Just before the break, we started to learn about the Ram pickup. This is the new EV that was unveiled on Thursday afternoon, the 5th of January. Nick, please explain to us the significance of this, including how it charges up. So you'll be able to charge up your vehicle how other EVs charge up. So it looks like a plug-in. So if you go to a public charging station, that'll be what you use. You can install almost like a charging mat in your home. And again, this is all to be confirmed. But the idea is that you can drive over it, much like you would place your smartphone on a charging mat for wireless induction technology. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's one of the greatest ideas out there because you no longer have to plug it in. So it also works out where, guys are delivering or parking somewhere quickly. It means you can drop off and you can gain, and they're talking about an 800-volt charging system where 10 minutes can also get you, 100 miles of charge.
Wow.
So
I can imagine parking lots having this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, toll booths, wherever you're going to stop for a very short amount of time, Starbucks, those sort of things. And you're not taking up charging ports as well. So that's a really good idea. Plus, this vehicle will also be able to do cool things like, for instance, if you're working with it and you're, for instance, laying a brick path or something, you'll be able to be outside the vehicle and walking, and the vehicle will be able to follow you for short distances while you're outside it. So there's some cool tech.
All right, so electrification and automation. And let's end off on what Mercedes is expected to unveil here at the show.
Yeah, so Mercedes have been working on level 3 autonomous driving. So for those people that aren't familiar, level 2 is where you can have your hands off the wheel, feet off the pedals, but you need to keep your eyes on the road. And we see that in Blue Cruise from Ford, and we see that Chevrolet have it.
Yeah, Super Cruise.
Super Cruise.
So if you're looking down at a book or on your phone, it'll notify you because there's a camera on you that says, hey, look up, right, for safety reasons.
Chevy uses infrared, of course, to look at your eyes. Well, so it looks like Mercedes have now got authorization in California and Nevada to do their system in level 3 where you no longer have to have your eyes on the road. So you could be playing a video game, watching a movie, and you no longer have to be looking at the road. So if you own a S-Class or an EQS in California or Nevada, you'll be able to take your eyes off of the road.
And autonomous driving level 3 is also where it will follow the road like in your lane. It'll curve along with the curvature of the road. It'll accelerate and decelerate based on traffic around you and even change lanes for you. And that's sort of the limit at this point.
Yeah, and again, it's fairly limited. When we get to level 4 and level 5 is when we really start to get what we would call, you and I would call, really true autonomy. These are sort of adaptive cruise control plus.
So that's where you sit in your vehicle and you say, take me to the closest McDonald's. Yeah. And it literally drives you from point A to point B with no human or very little human interaction. And that's level 5, I guess.
Yeah, level 5 is where you don't even have a steering wheel. So, level 5 is where the car goes and it doesn't have a driver and a steering wheel. So.
Yeah, all right. One day, right? You think so? Is that a matter of when, not if?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, and I will tell you, here's my argument with this. So, most municipalities, and some in the United States, and I'm not sure so much about Canada, you probably know more than I would, but some in the United States make over 50% of their money from driving infractions, red lights, speeding. By their very nature, autonomous cars do not break the law. So that means zero amount of money made by those municipalities. Those municipalities are not going to legalize autonomous driving because they're going to lose their income. So they may be an objection.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they may be an objection to the legalization of autonomous driving. So let's see how quickly this gets legalized in the U.S. I don't know about Canada, but in the U.S., those are going to be the object.
Awesome, Nick. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your show. Where can our listeners go to read more of your work?
So our auto expert, OurAutoExpert.com is where you can see the videos. You can see and read all of the stuff here. And Mark, of course, I will tell you that I will be happy to come and talk to you and your listeners anytime about some of the cool car stuff that's happening in the world.
Thank you so much, Nick. Always a pleasure. Happy and healthy New Year to you.
You too.
Hey, even though the Consumer Electronics Show wraps up this weekend, I'm going to share a few of my highlights. Next weekend, we may have another interview or two from the show if I think it's interesting enough. And we're going to have fresh interviews as well. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you in 2023. In fact, this is the 6th year that Tech It Out has been around. It's a syndicated radio show that airs on more than 100 stations across the country, and it's a podcast as well. A huge thank you to Radio America, my partner on this show, and of course to ASUS for those in search of incredible. Visit asus.com/US/radio for more info on their award-winning laptops, like their ZenBooks and VivoBooks. You can check them out at asus.com. That's ASUS.com/US/radio. I'm wishing you all a fantastic rest of your weekend, a healthy week ahead, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.